In three, two, one. Hey everyone, welcome to Filmmaker Mike and the boys. This is Filmmaker Mike. Joining me for tonight's emergency episode is Pinhead
What's up?
and Kuya.
How you doing?
Alrighty, well, I think we're doing pretty well, all things considered in 2020. Um, we are doing an unusual emergency episode on a early Thursday morning. It's November 19th, and it's 1:16 a.m. here in northern Nevada. So Pinhead and I actually just finished work at midnight, and we got some breaking news today. So we figured like it's time to get together and do a podcast. I was pretty excited to get together and do this. So thank you guys for joining us. And by the way, hopefully, if all things goes well, this will be on YouTube, so you'll be able to see us, or at least see the others, because I think most people are like, "Ah, I already know you, so whatever." But yeah, so this afternoon I got a DM from a buddy of mine, Josiah, also one of the listeners of the show. And when I opened his DM, there was a screenshot from the Wonder Woman 84 Twitter page. And it pretty much said right then and there that Wonder Woman 84 is going to be coming to theaters on Christmas Day and HBO Max. So that's what we're kicking off this episode with. We're basically going to be talking about Wonder Woman 84, the Video Game Award nominations for 2020, and then, of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League. He had a live stream event on Vero yesterday. So, kicking it off with Wonder Woman 84, again, I want to say thanks to Josiah for sending me that DM. It really, I basically woke up from a short nap with my kid, and that really woke me up when I saw that. So, I got really excited. And then, of course, it was on Twitter and everywhere else. So on social media, on Variety, of course, there's many stipulations here, like many questions that are asked. Of course, is it going to be an additional premium fee, or what's going on with Wonder Woman 84? So, as they mentioned on Variety, it will not. So pretty much everywhere. As long as you are a subscriber to HBO Max, the movie will be available for 1 month. So from December 25th to January 25th, you'll be able to watch it as much as you'd like on HBO Max. I believe some AT&T subscribers do get HBO Max for free, so that's cool. I mean, you're already not paying. You get a bonus basically, and it's really big news because again, this has been brewing for like since like last week, where I've been seeing headlines, and we've been following this since we started the podcast, that Warner Brothers was not sure what to do with Wonder Woman 84, whether or not they were still going to push through with the December 25th theatrical release. Of course, here in the US, not all movie theaters are fully open. In most, in the larger markets like Southern California, LA, New York, not a lot of those theaters are open. So, and even if they were going to be open by that time, because all things considered, there's no guarantee it's not going to be at 100% capacity. So I'm really surprised that, and also I'm impressed with Warner Brothers in that they were able to come up with a plan that works for the movie theater chains that are open, and also for everyone else who may not have access to a theater that's open. Or of course, in these times, you really can't tell. I mean, of course, you can't blame anyone who doesn't want to go to a movie theater, even if it is open, just because the number of cases are rising as the temperature begins to drop, of course, and it's getting much colder. And as we know, the experts did mention that there would be a second wave, and sure enough, we are seeing that. So on Variety, they mentioned, so it says here, following Warner Brothers' announcement that Wonder Woman 1984 will release both on HBO Max and in theaters Christmas Day. So this is from, according to AMC Entertainment CEO and President Adam Aaron. he stated that the movie theater chain is fully on board with the release plan. So for many months, AMC has been in active and deep dialogue with Warner Brothers to figure out how best this cinematic blockbuster could be seen at AMC theaters in these unprecedented times, which is great, of course, again, because it does work for the movie theaters and it also works for everyone else. And then, of course, this one is also from Variety. And it mentions here that in international markets, Wonder Woman 1984 will premiere in cinemas 1 week earlier where they don't have HBO Max. So December 16th in international markets, if they don't have HBO Max available there, fans and everyone else can see the movie on December 16th. And then, of course, the film will stream on HBO Max for a month at no additional cost to subscribers. So that's a huge thing. And again, it is a big deal because this is the first time we're seeing now a blockbuster that is going to be released in theaters, at least here in the US, day and date, and it's also going to be available for streaming. So it's really a landmark event as far as what they decided to do. Because, of course, months ago, with Christopher Nolan's Tenet, that was only going to see theater release and drive-in. But the stipulation with the drive-in movie theaters to be able to exhibit Tenet was that there had to be an actual indoor movie theater that was screening the film within the area. So, but we all know Christopher Nolan is all for the big screen experience, and so Warner Brothers went with that, and they pretty much did an experimental test run with Tenet, and now they've seen and this was back in August, I want to say, around August when Tenet, and we did the private watch party at Cinemark. It worked well, but of course, they're saying that Tenet broke even roughly, and it did well in international markets, but then of course they still lost some money. And here with Wonder Woman 84. It was on track to hit $1 billion like the first film.
Yep.
But of course, that may not be a guarantee right now. But I think what's really going to be huge for them is that they're going to earn and gain a lot of subscribers. Because, of course, we've been talking about HBO Max adding lots of content. And for $14.99, you have a lot of content. And there's something for everyone. There's Sesame Street, there's anime, there's a lot of other kid movies, family movies, comedies. They just added a bunch of Comedy Central, of course, the Dave Chappelle Show. The DC films are there as well. You've got the Hayao Miyazaki animated films.
Miyazaki films. Yeah.
They are exclusively, they have an exclusive deal with HBO Max. So yeah, you've got a ton of content on HBO Max, and and of course, many of HBO's great original series as well. So yeah, this is really exciting. What else do you guys think? Any other thoughts, Kuya?
This is the beginning of the domination, I guess. I don't know. What I think Warner Brothers and HBO Max and the powers that be, whoever is in charge. I believe AT&T, right, is
Right.
the people in charge of the
Yes, they bought out.
the Universal and all that stuff. So they kind of learned from what happened with Disney Plus and Mulan, and they say that the backlash. We really don't want to do that. We had this excellent movie, and I'm sure it's excellent because Patty Jenkins and did an excellent job with the first Wonder Woman. I'm sure she's gonna do an excellent job with this one. This is gonna be the beginning of what's to come for HBO Max, because we got from December to January, that's Wonder Woman, nothing but Wonder Woman, and then all these other shows and stuff. And is it April that the Justice League is gonna come out, or is it March?
There is no exact announcement yet for the Snyder Cut.
Okay.
So, but the rumor was spring of 2021.
Okay.
But
so
it could be much later.
So, or it could be earlier. So it could be February.
It could
right?
be, but based
So-
based on the effects, the visual effects, as
Yeah,
according
I
to
don't
Zack
know
Snyder,
about that.
it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, I mean, like what this is again, this is just the beginning. Like HBO Max took this seriously. They want to compete in the market with Netflix. They want to compete with Hulu. They want to compete with all of these other streaming sites and everything like that. So they showed good content already with grabbing Studio Ghibli and all the anime stuff from Crunchyroll, um, the Warner Brother movies and all that stuff. Uh, and all the children's stuff, and then the HBO, so, the HBO classics and whatnot. So yeah, like this is the beginning of like I feel like it's gonna be the beginning of the domination of HBO, like in the market. Like the other streaming sites should try to figure out what they can do to keep up, because this is a big chess piece for them too. Like this is unheard of. Like
Right.
I'm, people would literally risk COVID to watch Wonder Woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for them to say, hey, you know what, you have two options because we care about you guys. You want to watch it on a private screen with your friends on the movie screen, you can watch it there, or subscribe to HBO Max for 14.99 and you get to see it for a month. That's amazing. Pinhead, what do you think, man?
I agree with you. It's one thing. I think they're gonna be heavy hitters. This is like I was telling Mike. It reminds me of like Barry Bonds and Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa when they were just hitting home runs out of the
Hmm.
park. This is gonna be a game changer, like Mike said, for the industry. Theaters really need to watch themselves. Be very careful what they say to studios because Warner Brothers now is saying, we're doing this. We're putting this out. You can go to the theater, great. Or you can give us money the safe way in the privacy of your own home, enjoying it with your family for no extra cost. Unlike those guys over there at the Mouse House, those idiots, over there at Marvel, we're not going to charge you extra. We're just going to let you say, become subscribers, and we're going to enjoy you coming over to our side.
Yep.
And we're not going to charge you extra. And it's a great move. It's very, very smart business because
Very
now,
savvy, right?
yes, it is, because now they can go toe to toe with Netflix and go, what? Now you do something that changes the game like that. Now, Netflix, you can no longer rest on your laurels like you have done for the last, and I'm being nice, 3 years. You have coasted on your name for the last 3 years now, raising these prices now, going, we're going to bring you best entertainment. That's great. Shut up and put out. Put
Yeah.
out that, do it. Do what HBO Max just did. Do something on that level. Stop resting on, we're Netflix and we can't be touched. HBO Max begs to differ, and they have the capital to do it. There's two competitions that can bring Netflix down if they don't be careful. And it's one is HBO Max and the other is Amazon Prime because of the capital that they have. They can keep standing there. Bezos has a lot more money than Netflix.
Hmm.
So he can stand there and go, you want to play the pissing game? Let's play. And HBO Max making heavy hits like they just did with this Wonder Woman deal. Netflix needs to shape up. And so do the movie theaters. The theater industry really needs to go, we're in a pandemic right now.
Right.
People don't want to come here. What are we going to do what HBO just did? What Netflix is doing. So everybody needs to step up their game because HBO is not playing. They're not playing games. They're proving it with the Snyder Cut, with Wonder Woman. we'll get into the Snyder thing later. With Wonder Woman, what they just did, HBO is not screwing around. They're here to stay. They're not here to disappear like Disney Plus or Hulu, or I won't keep calling you out, but there's a couple of you that are in this streaming war, just like in the Monday Night Wars that we had in the old wrestling game.
Yep.
There's a lot of you in the streaming wars. You're gonna bite the dust. I'm sorry, but it's gonna happen, and it's because you didn't evolve like these guys are doing. So, all you guys better be warned. HBO Max is not here to play. They're here to mean business, and I appreciate they're treating their customers with respect so far. Keep it up, HBO Max. Keep it up, and you might win the day.
Yeah. Also want to add, Netflix did announce that they were increasing their prices. I don't know.
Exactly.
I can't remember if that's gone into effect or it's still coming up. I think.
November 16th.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So it took it.
Oh, so it already-
it took
already
effect
happened,
already. Yeah.
Yep, because
Then-
they flashed it in our face for you. For a lot of you subscribers out there of Netflix, they flashed it in our face telling we're raising our prices, but we're going to still give you some great entertainment. And they told you the date that they were doing it. And that was
Right.
the date.
And then just a few days ago, Hulu as well for live TV. Hulu went up by, I think, or is going up by about $10. So it
I'm surprised that Pinhead mentioned Amazon, because the streaming part of Amazon Prime, it's kind of like the way it looks, the interface is kind of bad, right? Because you can't
Right.
really find you really can't find the movies that you want to watch and everything like that. But
Well,
but the thing is that if Jeff Bezos like took it seriously and says, hey, you know what, I want to compete, I'm gonna put money onto the interface on this one. I think I think you're right on that one. That like it's gonna be like one of the top streaming sites, just because it's that capital that they have. I agree. I was like, wow. But
And if I'm not mistaken, I think if it was the last Oscars or the last few Oscars, Jeff Bezos was there in the Oscars because they had an Amazon film. I can't remember specifically.
documentary. I think a best documentary or something like that.
Something like that. So he's already in the game, and yeah, with all that capital, he knows that they can compete. So
shit, like they can buy Netflix, right? Or he can buy Netflix by himself.
Pretty much, yeah.
If he wanted to, if he so deemed it.
I do want to mention, so Gal Gadot did post or on her social media. So this one's from Twitter, which is pretty much in the same Instagram as well. So it says here, it's time. We've all waited a long time for this one to come. I can't tell you how excited I am for all of you to see this movie. It wasn't an easy decision, and we never thought we'd have to hold on to the release for such a long time, but COVID rocked all of our worlds. We feel the movie has never been so relevant, and we hope that it'll bring some joy, hope, and love to your hearts. Wonder Woman 1984 is a special one for me, and I can only hope it'll be as special to you too. We've put our hearts and souls into it, so you can watch it in theaters. And she puts in parentheses, they're doing an amazing job keeping it safe. And you can watch it on HBO Max from your homes. Sending you my love. Please keep safe and wear a mask. Happy holidays to all of us. Let the light shine in. And a bunch of cool emojis. And of course, Patty Jenkins also quote tweeted her. And as you mentioned, Kuya, she did. So Patty Jenkins quote tweeted that tweet of Gal Gadot. Patty Jenkins said, I can't wait for the world to see this amazing woman on the screen. She'll blow your mind and warm your heart. Gal Gadot killed it in this film, and she does all that great and hard work for only the most honorable reasons. She is a true Wonder Woman, so I hope you enjoy WW84.
And I believe her. I truly believe her. I love Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot, however you say it. And I love Patty Jenkins. I think she's brilliant. The Monster was a phenomenal film.
Yep.
And the first one, and I'll admit, I was a skeptic of the first Wonder Woman, and I shouldn't have been, from the mighty, great, brilliant Patty Jenkins. She is awesome. I shouldn't have doubted her, because just seeing Monster alone, I should have been it was a perfect connection, and I should have, but I was a naysayer, and she proved me wrong, and I was happy she did, and I'm so looking forward to see what they're letting her do. No restraints, her own vision. She had her vision in the first one, but this one she's proven. They try some people try to, I don't want to see this shit because it's women like, they cried and they wept and they moaned, and she proved them all wrong. And I'm glad she did. And now she had full control with this movie, and she was able to have her vision, and I can't wait to see what she's done with this. Normally, I'm getting tired of the nostalgia of '84. Thank you, Stranger Things, for this. Thank you so much for the nonstop, just bashed in your head of the '80s. I've had enough. Let's move on to my era '90s on a side note. But I am looking forward to seeing what Patty Jenkins and Gal and everybody does with this material in '84 and all. But after this, let's end it, please. Aside from Stranger Things, let's stop with the nostalgia of the '80s. Get your head out of the cocaine bag and get over the nostalgia of the '80s. We get it. It's time for us to get the '90s on. Let's let the '90 kids rule some more.
Well, I got news for you because Stranger Things 4, is it 4? Yeah. Stranger Things season 4 will still be in the 80s, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
I know. Stranger Things is gonna go out through the entire decade. I know, but
Yeah.
that's why I said besides Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's why I said after '84, Wonder Woman, and I mentioned besides Stranger Things because Stranger Things needs to be allowed to do its thing. Let's move on from it.
Right.
That's enough.
Yeah.
We lived the '80s. We got it.
I think this
And
is
and the old farts, even some of the old farts who lived the '80s are like, we get it. We lived it. It wasn't that great. Move on.
Hey, it
So
wasn't.
let's move on.
The only thing I liked about season 3 was the never ending story song. So that's pretty much.
Well, that was great, but they also had the Back to the Future when they were all on LSD. Like when those two were on LSD
Yeah,
watching Back to
that
the
was
Future
fun.
for the first time.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was great. And
Yeah.
yeah, Steve having no clue about like movies and anything going on. Like he just had like no clue.
Yeah.
Like who was who. So I do want to mention the original because of course Gal Gadot in a tweet and Patty Jenkins mentioned that this, they've held on to this film for the longest time. So this was supposed to be released back in 2019, of course, originally announced for December 13, 2019.
So
And then
about a year. Yeah.
and then they moved it up to November 1st, 2019. Then it was delayed to June 5th, 2020. This was pre-COVID, pre-2020. And on, of course, March 24, 2020, theaters closed for an uncertain period of time due to the COVID-19 pandemic here in the US. The film was delayed to August 14. And then in June 2020, a further delay saw the film's release pushed to October 2nd, 2020, before it was moved to the Christmas date in November 2020. So, yeah, lots of delays. They've held on to it for the longest time. So it's been basically a year, and now they're ready. And again, a really great move, a great business move on their part for AT&T and HBO and Warner Brothers to finally let the world see it. And what better way to, since again most on Christmas during the holidays, the medical experts, of course, and all the scientists and all the doctors and the medical field people are really discouraging families from trying to get together as much as possible because there is that risk, So with most people just staying at home, what better way to just distract yourself and for a few hours and enjoy by seeing Wonder Woman 84. And as far as the 1984, ever since they announced the title of the film and the setting, that always got me excited because that's my year. That's when I was born. So 1984 all the way.
Man, that soundtrack was awesome. When I first heard it on the movie theaters,
Blue Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why in the in our Facebook Messenger thread, I did send a YouTube vid of Wonder Woman, and it's basically a remix of that song intertwined with like the trailer music, and
Yeah.
it's great. It's like great workout music. It's great pump hype music. So that's gotten me excited for this. And
As long as they play the original Wonder
theme,
Woman soundtrack theme, I'm perfectly
yeah,
fine.
I'm hoping that it's gonna be there somewhere.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was the
Yeah.
most metal like out of all the theme songs I've
Right.
heard in any superhero movie.
Which was first introduced to us in BVS, Batman vs Superman,
All right.
and then of
right.
course in Wonder
well,
Woman.
no, but nobody watched BVS because from what I heard, it sucks, right? So
Yeah, and
No,
if you guys
it
remember before
sucks.
BVS premiered in 2016, when we got like what the second or third trailer, a lot of negativity from a lot of people and the fans were like, they're doing too much. Why are they putting Wonder Woman in there? There's too much characters and all these things. But of course,
as soon as they saw Wonder Woman, as soon as they heard
exactly,
the theme song, they were like, "Hey, you know what? Wonder Woman is the best part of Batman versus
exactly.
Superman."
It wasn't too bad because Wonder Woman in it now.
And again, who do we say thank you to for casting Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman?
Zack Snyder.
It goes back to Zack Snyder. This is still the
Thank you,
Snyderverse.
Zach.
that a
Alex
lot of
Rider,
people
yeah, we love
don't
you, bro.
realize. Yeah, and that includes Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Ezra Miller as Flash, and of course Ben Affleck as Batman. That the
Yep.
Snyderverse is alive and well, as we will definitely discuss later on as well.
Yeah, we will. And we'll
I-
especially mention that drinking game later on.
Oh
but-
yeah, the Justice League.
'cause-
And that's just the first version. So I also want to mention that, and you guys touched on it a little bit when a few months ago we Disney Plus added Mulan, the live action Mulan, as a premiere access exclusive. If you paid $30, you could see the film. But when they made that big announcement, they also mentioned that if the film will be available in December to Disney Plus subscribers, and you'll be able to watch the live action Mulan without paying that $30 in December, as long as you have the Disney Plus subscription. So when they mentioned that, it, including myself, like it got me and my wife Julie, like at first she wanted to like pay, and I was like, no, they announced that it's going to be free in December. There's no rush. We can wait till December without having to pay that extra $30. And I'm sure I did remember like a lot of people. There's people that pay the $30, but then I'm willing to bet there's a lot of people who also have waited and are
Step
waiting for December. So and I think Disney did make money from that, of course, but they definitely didn't make as much as they wanted to. So
Yeah, they didn't make the money they wanted.
right,
because the movie wasn't quality.
that's
Not only that, they sabotaged themselves. So
right. That's what I
Because of all
heard.
the
kind of
because
did.
of all the because of all the controversy that's happened in with,
Right.
with
And then sure enough, also on December 25th, they did announce that the next Pixar film, Soul, will be available on Christmas Day on Disney Plus.
nice.
Which I was chatting with Josiah about, and I told him like that's great, and I'm also looking forward to seeing that. And that's they're adding that animated film Soul at no additional cost. But I told him Mulan was also a really missed opportunity for a lot of Asian people and Asian Americans who wanted to see that on the big screen. What they really should have done was, yes, you could have still had that option on Disney Plus, but it should have also they should have still pushed it in theaters for the sake of a lot of because a lot of movie theater owners and the chains were really mad when Disney canceled Mulan, because they had all the standees, the displays and everything, and like, what are we going to do with this? There's no point in keeping this stuff because we're not even going to get the film to exhibit. We're not going to get anyone in. And of course, Disney films, as we know, are a huge draw for families. But when they took that out of the equation, when Disney just said, "Oh, it's going to be on Disney Plus for $30," then movie, and that's why you had like AMC and like all these other movie theaters that had to shut down basically because they weren't going to, if, and I'm thinking about it now, if Warner Brothers decided that they were not going to release Wonder Woman 84 in theaters at all, it would have really hurt the movie theaters even more, because Wonder Woman is the last, and we mentioned it on the show, Wonder Woman 84 is the last blockbuster film of the year. And if it was not going to make it into theaters, then that's it, and it's really going to continue to bring down the movie theater industry. But fortunately, they work things out. I do want to mention, when I went on Twitter as the news was announced for Wonder Woman 84, as soon as I went on Twitter, sure enough, Black Widow was trending, because of course that's still sitting in the Disney vault. And that's been moved to, I believe, April of next year, 2021.
So there's no chance that they're going to throw a curveball and say that they're going to release it the same day?
Good question. I mean, they probably they could, and they're going to say for $30. But I bet you, I'm willing to bet when they say, and I posted about it, Disney can announce, hey, Black Widow is going to be available for $30, but it'll be available a month later for free. So they're going to shoot themselves in the foot again. So now,
that's exactly.
The ball is in Disney's court, because really, AT&T and Warner Brothers, HBO Max, really played, really are basically hitting homers with all of the things that they've been doing. And this is a game changer. This is changing the industry, especially during a pandemic, and again, even once, hoping now that with the news of a vaccine and 90% plus efficacy or whatever, if things start to look up and things get better for 2021 and 2022, this may have long-term effects as far as people not wanting to go to the movie theaters anymore. Because of course, one of the biggest complaints of people going to see a movie, of course, was if it was just you and a date, that's one thing, right? But that'll still cost money. But if you brought your kids, to see a Disney movie, and then you buy snacks and drinks and all these things, that'll cost upwards of 50 to 75, maybe even $100, depending on which market you're at. So
especially if you live in those LA, San Francisco, New York markets, you're really biting the dust with the money.
Right. And that's not even an IMAX ticket. If that's
exactly
a ticket, that's even more, right? And then so yeah, I do also want to mention that with that said, it's just really fascinating how it's going to now change the landscape of how movies are distributed. And perhaps, and I'm hoping that we're still going to and it seems like Patty Jenkins even mentioned, I read on a tweet, that they're going to keep Wonder Woman 84 in theaters for as long as possible, because right now Tenet is still playing in theaters, but I think it is ending its IMAX run, but I think you can still see it in a big screen. So I'm hoping that through some good twist of fate, that cases will eventually die down by next year and go down, and people will get better, and be able to get rid of all of this crap, and I'll still be able to see it in the theater. Because as much as I really want to see in the theater, if I have the option of seeing it on HBO Max, then why not? And again, like, for the subscription price of $14.99, let's say someone who doesn't have HBO Max just subscribes to see Wonder Woman 84,
like me,
like you, and then you see it, and then that's great, and then you see it maybe a few more times, and
no, I'm gonna keep it.
Right. And that's the thing, because you're gonna end up keeping the subscription, because you're not just getting it for Wonder Woman 84, but with all the content that's on there, it's gonna get you to stay.
Amazing content too.
Yeah. The South Park pandemic special. That is.
Yeah, I need to watch that, because you guys keep talking about that.
Oh my goodness, I have watched so hard.
For you French New Wave fans out there, you like the Jean-Luc Godard and all that stuff, the Criterion stuff's in. You guys will love it. Like it's perfect for you cinephiles, because there's a huge section of just great classic movies from all over the country. So I highly recommend getting on board because it's time to do so.
Right.
And I don't like promoting stuff, but it's just the fact it's so damn good. Like they're just hitting it out of the park. And when you got to give the devil his due. I hate to say that, but you really do when it comes to you got to give credit where credit's due. You know, if John Cena did something like this, I would even have to give him some credit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's
Wow.
the fact of the matter of it's not about promoting something. It's about trying to tell all you people out there the good word of HBO Max. Okay, so go check it out.
Let's all have a
'Cause
seat.
it's not it's
the gospel.
with Netflix being little babies and raising the prices, it's really not that much to have if you can afford that, you can afford HBO Max. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. Save 2 cups of Starbucks coffee per.
Yeah. Make
Save.
Starbucks at
Right.
home. Just make your coffee at home. It's way cheaper.
That's right. Make it at home.
Way cheaper. I
Like
do
us
want to
old
share this meme
farts
that I
do,
made.
you know?
I do want to share this meme that I made. I put it on my Instagram earlier at FilmakerMike. So it's the SpongeBob meme.
Oh, yeah.
Squidward looking out,
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
looking out at SpongeBob and Patrick running, and Squidward is Black Widow, and SpongeBob and Patrick is Wonder Woman 84. So I just thought it was hilarious. And again,
That is pretty funny.
I did the same thing with a slight variation, and I'm not trying to knock on Marvel fans, but in this case I am. But specifically, I'm knocking at the Marvel
Only.
the Marvel fans who are
The Marvel
straight up
only
haters,
fans.
who are
Yeah.
straight up haters.
Yeah.
So I just switched it up, and Squidward is the MCU fans right now, and then SpongeBob and Patrick is the DCU fans, the DC fans who are out and about and having fun. So I thought,
Yeah, just to de-trigger some of you out there, we're not talking about all you Marvel fans. We're talking about the ones who go, I will not watch a DC film because it's beneath me and Marvel is superior in every way. You garbage fans. We're talking about you pieces of garbage.
and I'm a Marvel fan. I love Marvel, not as much as I
I
love.
like Marvel too, but this I'm above it nonsense. You're garbage. I'm sorry. That's all the way to put it. You are garbage fans.
I also want to
Captain Marvel.
mention
Thrown in the dumpster where you belong behind the Applebee's at your local. Like, you're garbage.
Yeah, I do also want to mention, of course, on HBO Max there is a masterpiece of a film called Man of Steel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know.
There you go. There you go.
So
Thanks.
last night, so Pinhead, we're not going to mention the brand of headphones that we both have.
We really should, but okay, we won't.
We won't mention it right now.
There's this guy named we'll just say there's a guy who's the brother of Brandy. He made these headphones, and they're awesome. They're absolutely awesome.
We won't mention the brand because we want to land.
You know, he had a ride on the old Kardashian before she was famous.
Oh, wait! He made her famous. Let's just say that.
There you
but
go.
Anyway,
wink, wink.
we'll end it there. We'll end it there. But yeah, these headphones are phenomenal. And go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry to interrupt.
So you're good. So we don't want to mention the brand name just yet because we want to make sure we land a sponsorship deal first.
Yeah.
And then we will gladly mention the brand. So anyway, I've had these headphones for like months now. Since like the summer, and they've been working great. Julie has a pair as well, and then and usually I use headphones at work just to listen to podcasts or music. But of course, and like when I get home, like I'll watch something on the iPad, but I won't use headphones. And Pinhead mentioned last night that he was watching Power Rangers Zeo, which I'm not very familiar with. I'm like OG Mighty Morphin.
So, wait. Power Rangers what?
Zeo. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he mentioned that you could hear stuff that you've never heard before when you've got the headphones in.
Oh.
So you can hear the bass and everything. So I was like, I should try that with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So sure enough, last night when I got home, when I fired up Netflix, there's a bunch of I think it's all the Power Rangers shows.
It's got everything up to date to this point where they're at.
Yeah.
Wow.
of
So-
Power Rangers. Like literally up to right now where we're at, up to until they move forward. Like, and they're literally up to 2020 because I looked.
Right.
So it's
So-
up to date.
I fire up Netflix and I put on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, an episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Hell yeah.
with the headphones on, and it rocks. It's awesome because you can hear
Yeah, I was
when
telling you,
that
dude.
theme song
Like,
kicks in, like you can hear stuff that you never heard before.
Wait. So Mike, these unknown brand of headphones,
Yeah.
wireless headphones, correct?
Yes. Wireless. Wireless.
Okay. How much do they cost? If you don't mind me asking.
When I got them, there was like a 15% or 20% off discount. So it was like
Yeah.
around $60-$70.
Ooh.
yeah. Way
Way
more
cheaper
affordable
than.
than your premium brand. And
Is
you know,
that right?
and these work great. I mean, you know, and I like the premium brand too, but man, if I can get them cheap,
And I heard it's lifetime guarantee. Is that right?
I think so.
Oh.
and they're a lot cheaper than
Then
that your
yeah.
favorite hip hop artist's brand that he
Yeah.
overpriced and peddles out there.
Or I guess
You
we
know,
wouldn't
Dr.
say
Pepper,
cheaper.
as we'll call him.
We'd say more affordable. So more
Exactly.
affordable, yeah.
Far more affordable.
And the quality is just great. It's impeccable. It really is. And so
It got an old fart like me to get some. So
yeah, I got a pair of white ones. Pinhead got the red ones. Those look nice too.
Yep.
So
Love those
yeah,
red ones.
after that episode of
With
Mighty
the red capsule.
yeah, after that episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I went over to HBO Max and I was like, I should watch Man of Steel.
Oh
Sure.
my God.
And I said, I'm just
Jesus.
gonna watch the first 20 minutes. But sure enough, I went through the first hour until Superman starts flying.
You knew
And it's-
you know you finished the damn movie, Mike. Just
Oh, no,
quit,
I-
quit,
yeah,
just
I
quit
did.
lying, quit lying and
Yeah.
saying like, "Yo, I only saw 1 hour of this one." No, you finished the whole damn movie.
Man of Steel, that first 20 minutes on Krypton is just nonstop. It's just action, and it's just great action. Like, my God, I could watch that like opening 20-minute sequence over and over and not get bored of it. Like, it's just genius. It's stunning, and it's like, and I had the volume on full blast on my headphones, and it was just like rocking.
Yeah.
And of course, when
That's how I was
huh?
that's how I was with Power Rangers Zeo, just stronger than before. That
Exactly.
bass is just boom, 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 boom.
When
Like the
Jarrell-
bass is phenomenal with those things. Like it's
Yeah.
just I have got to go on Tubi and watch Phantasm with those things. It's
there you
gonna
go.
be awesome.
There you go.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
And when in Man of Steel, when Jarrell is like starting to escape and he yells for Haraka, and then like Hans Zimmer like score like kicks in, like, oh my God, dude, it's beautiful. So I think
I could
gonna have to
watch
do-
Star Trek 2 and listen to God
There
like
you
a
go.
hella loud. Like
I'm gonna have to watch BVS tonight,
God.
or maybe even Wonder Woman. So
Yeah.
and like
Hey, just hear the theme of Wonder Woman, like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like it's something that you don't usually think of, like, because I mostly use wireless head or earbuds like for music or podcasts, but not movies, but now or like in shows, but now, like, why not? It's like, so, and I'm not bothering anyone,
Mhm.
like, 'cause of course everyone's asleep here in the house, so at least with those on I can enjoy it full blast and not have to worry about, you know, turning it up too loud.
Bothering anybody, and no one's bothering you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm gonna even have to watch The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight.
Hell yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
The Dark Knight's phenomenal.
when that bum kicks in. So yeah, there's our not ad kind of ad.
I know.
Just run.
So, Brandy's brother,
Hook us
if
up,
you're
brother.
listening to
Yeah,
this,
hook
right?
us up, brother, because I love you. I've always have, and now I think you're even more phenomenal for inventing these things.
I loved your VH1 dating show. It was amazing.
Hell yeah.
I was laughing the whole entire time. You know.
Yeah. So
So
as
yeah.
we pretty much wrap up with Wonder Woman 84, I guess it's safe to say we're all excited to see it at the comfort
hell
of
yeah.
of our own
I can't-
homes.
We
Anything
love
Patty
you, Gal.
Jenkins.
We love you, Patty. We are huge supporters over here, and we can't wait to see what you've done.
Yeah,
We
Patty
really are.
Jenkins is awesome. I've got
Wait, wait.
Patty
Patty
Jenkins
right
is.
here,
Yeah, oh, you got the Patty Jenkins.
I'm
Yeah.
jelly
Nice,
now.
nice.
and I've got Wonder Woman in her.
I want a
Golden
Patty
Steel
Jenkins
armor.
Funko Pop, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so we're moving on to the Video Game Award nominations. So I'm gonna have Pinhead lead this discussion.
So yes, our boy, your friend and mine, Jeff Keighley, has his annual Video Game Awards coming. So Jeff Keighley has announced the nominees for the Game Awards in 2020. Obviously, one of the most disastrous years, and it's no different for games.
Yep.
This will be on December 10th, and we have the nominations. Now I'm not reading all of them because it's like the Dead Sea Scrolls. It just goes on and on and on and on.
There
So
should be like six, right?
we're gonna read the important ones. So, and we're gonna get into some things. I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm not gonna blow my gasket. I'm gonna try and leave my blood pressure within the double digits. Let's not get them in the triples. That's the goal, and no massive amounts of profanity. That's the two goals right here before we get into it. So I'll count to three. You might hear me count to three a couple of times. That's the two goals. Keep the
try.
blood pressure in the double single digits and no profanity. So here we go. Game of the year: Animal Crossing: New Horizons. That's for Nintendo. Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, which deserved, Hades, and of course, you couldn't go without the savior of the whole bunch, The Last of Us Part 2 from Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog's Citizen Kane of PS. We'll get into that later. I'm not gonna start. Best game direction. Oh, this is my favorite one because, again, the master of masters. We start off with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Okay, that's cool. Ghost of Tsushima, much deserved. Hades, Half-Life, I don't know about, but cool. And of course, the master himself has to be put in there. The Last of Us Part 2. So we're continuing down a trend here. Best narrative. And I said the important things. I know this doesn't sound like it, but this really is because it makes a lot of sense for what you do when you're playing video games. So best narrative: 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and of course, the hero of the bunch, Last of Us Part 2. We're seeing a little trend here.
A little bit.
We're gonna round them out to these last. Yeah, we're gonna round them out to these last couple of ones. Best art direction: Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Now that is very out of left field, but I'm glad that got in because art direction we're talking about here.
That's a beautiful game.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So I'm glad that got in. And of course, we round out the bunch. You know it. Your friend and mine, The Last of Us Part 2. Best score: music, Doom Eternal.
Yep.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yep.
Hades.
Yep.
Ori and the Will of the Wisp, which the only thing just as good or better than the art direction of that game is the music.
Yep.
And then, of course, your buddy and mine, The Last of Us Part 2. We're seeing another trend again. So we're finishing the last couple of categories that are important: best audio, best performance, and then we'll end it right there. And then games for impact, because that's supposed to be something. So here we go. Best audio design: Doom Eternal, Half-Life, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3, which was
the remake. It was a remake.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Resident Evil 3 remake was a surprise to me. But what's not a surprise is our buddy's back. The Last of Us Part 2. That rounds out the group.
Game of the
Finally, and this is where we get into the meat and potatoes of this. And it's just as dangerous as the game of the year. So here we go. Our buddy starts off right off the bat. He couldn't help himself. Ashley Johnson is Ellie. Fine. Last of Us Part 2. We knew Ellie was getting a nomination.
Yep.
But you knew Scott Steiner, big old Papa Pump, wasn't going without her nomination. Laura Bailey, Abby, The Last of Us Part 2, she's in there too.
Mhm.
Okay, and this one, I'm sorry. I'm gonna murder your name. I'm a Yank. I'm a half-breed Yank, okay? I'm half white and black. That's the worst of two worlds for you Japanese folks, so I'm sorry. Here we go.
Stupid.
Daishuku Tajunji. I don't know your name, but Jin from Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah.
Logan Cunningham from Hades.
Yep.
It's Hades, so I don't have to say it again. And the dude from Miles, who plays Miles Morales in Spider-Man for Spider-Man. So that rounds it out. I will give, for those who care, Games for Impact, If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV edition, Spirit Fair, Tell Me Why, and Through Darkest of Times. That's where we're gonna end it, because after this, then we go, like I said, into the Dead Sea Scrolls, and we just keep going and going and going until we literally go past the Bermuda Triangle. So we don't need to go into it. But let's start talking about what we have here. We're not gonna go on a long rant. Kuya has his opinion. I'm gonna go off with mine since I went off with this. I'm not gonna throw a fit, but I'm gonna say this. I knew this was coming. And for my boy Brad, I love you, man. You're a good dude. Didn't know about you at first, but you're a good dude. I like you. I know you like The Last of Us Part 2, and that's good. And I'm glad for those of you out there who really, really enjoy The Last of Us Part 2.
But
And I'm saying this nicely. I'm not going to be a jerk about it. I really am not. But if we critically think just about fundamental storytelling, I don't, spoiler alerts, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's going to be spoilers here, and everybody knows this. I don't give a that Joel was murdered. I don't care about that. That's not the point. We're talking about basic, fundamental storytelling. And we're giving all these awards to The Last of Us Part 2. I understand why some of you, it's the first time you've seen two girls kiss. And it's liberation. You never seen all these other things that have happened before, but it's the first time you saw two girls. Okay, fine. Celebrate that. That's fine. That's free. Then we go into, well, you just don't understand it because it's a masterpiece, because we don't need to get into it. The fact of the matter is, The Last of Us Part 2 is dominating this whole thing. And if it wins Game of the Year, it will be the most egregious act in entertainment since Jethro Tull beat Metallica at the 1989 Grammy Awards for Best Metal, Heavy Metal, Hard Rock Act. It'll be the most that'll be the most egregious thing since that happened. And for those of you young kids out there who don't even know who Jethro Tull is, let alone Metallica,
go ask your mom.
either go ask your mom or go on YouTube and type in how Metallica lost to Jethro Tull, and you'll find out all the information about why I say it's the most egregious. And you'll go,
Because hey,
how did a flute playing folk singer beat a one of the heaviest?
Because flutes are metal, bro.
They are, but they can be. But that's not the point. The point is that you went up against the heaviest heavy metal record of all time at that point. No one had ever seen anything that heavy at that point. The flute folk singer won. Well, The Last of Us Part 2 is the flute folk singer, and Ghost of Tsushima is the heavy metal guy that's ready to kick down the door because it was fun. It was beautiful. It was entertaining.
It was beautiful.
And guess what? It actually was diverse too, because you love that so much. It was very diverse, and you got everything you wanted out of it. And then you had Last of Us Part 2. So if you want to vote, you can vote right now. I'll leave it at this. You can vote. I'm pretty sure the voting's still open. Go to the
Oh yeah.
VGA. Go to the VGA website, and you can vote. Jeff Keighley will love it from you because he's peddling Last of Us Part 2 because he's one of those that it's Orson Welles and the Citizen Kane of games. It's great, man. It's a masterpiece, dude. And if you say something bad about it, bro, you just don't get it. It was deep, man. It was so deep. You just don't get it. You're a lame. You don't get it. It's bad storytelling. You don't get it. This is bad storytelling, and if we reward bad storytelling, I'm not in that group that says I want Last of Us Part 3 because Druckmann, I challenge you. I'm a better writer than you are. I'm putting you on notice. I hope you see this. I'm a better writer than you are. I challenge you to prove me wrong. Do it in The Last of Us Part 3. Prove me wrong. Some nobody here in Reno, prove me wrong. You're nothing. You're in the garbage heap too at Applebee's around the corner because you put yourself there. Because you'd rather put politics ahead of good moral gameplay. That's what you rather do. You rather talk about how great you are because you wrote a sex scene with two women and I'm a man and I'm evolved. You're Josh Whedon. Okay?
Wow.
You talk about how you're evolved and you love women and this and that, but you're actually garbage behind the scenes. You're Josh Whedon. So shut up, sit down, stay in your lane, or prove me wrong. That's your two options. That's the end of the rant. You're garbage, boy. And if you win, like I said, it will be it'll be egregious. It'll be extremely egregious. And and a part of me will weep and a part of me will laugh because the part of me that'll weep will go, huh, I thought at least the gaming community had more sense of this. And then the part of me will laugh and go, huh, they're still humans. They're absolute morons. So I should have known better. Kuya, you have the floor.
I have the floor. Oh, thank you, Pinhead. I appreciate that. The Last of Us, the very first one, was an absolute perfect game. Do you agree, Pinhead?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. The way the story
That's why
went,
I'm as agitated as I am.
the way the story was, the way everything happened in that game, the way the game played itself was absolutely like perfect. It
You want
was
to talk about a masterpiece? You
Yep.
can throw that one in. Then I'll agree with you.
Yeah. So at the very beginning, I said they should just leave this masterpiece alone.
Yep.
When I heard about
Yep.
the sequel, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this one, right? So, but like because of the track record, Naughty Dog being Naughty Dog, having like awesome stories and all that stuff with their games, I'm like, okay, let's give it a chance.
And hold on, I don't mean to interrupt you, but just for context for the people,
Oh,
I'm not one of these guys to hammer it home and just to that I'm not biased and I'm being a baby. I'm not one of these guys who heard the rumors and went, I'm not doing it.
no.
I played the game, I suffered through it, and I beat it.
Yep.
So I know what I'm talking about. I'm done.
Yeah.
I just had to put that out there for my defense. I've
Yep.
played it and I've beaten the game. I beat The Last of Us Part 2. I know what I'm talking about.
The
game
issue,
is trash.
yeah, the issue for people, for the most part, was Joel dying early.
Yes, I know.
That was the biggest issue.
That's why I say I don't care about that.
Yeah,
That's the least of the problems.
And for me, I agree. It didn't matter because it helped move the story along, right? So now this is gonna be like, oh, Ellie's out for revenge. Okay, cool. I'm on board for this one. The issue I had was the dual story of two revenging the revenging, the revenge of Ellie, killing, or because Joel died, and Abby, because
Yeah.
because of what happened. And spoiler alerts again, kiddos.
Yeah.
um Joel killed Abby's father, who was the surgeon at the very first uh The Last of Us game.
Yes.
So he basically shot him and all that stuff, and all that stuff. So she's been out for revenge for years, for Joel, looking for Joel, all that stuff. Okay. The issue, again, is it's they separated the stories of these two characters, which are fairly
It was
similar,
unearned.
because yeah, it
It
was
was
unearned,
very unearned.
because they
I understand why Joel was murdered, or because that's what happened.
yeah,
Because he murdered her father and she returned the favor.
yep,
I understand why that is, but it was unearned
yeah,
because of Neil Druckmann's terrible storytelling.
yep. It should
This
have
is
been,
why I say I'm better than you, Neil. Your terrible storytelling has enraged a lot of us. And
oh
it's
yeah,
not because we're being babies and we don't get it. It's because we do get it. And a lot of us understand basic third grade structure of storytelling. You
and
don't.
and then, like, the problem for me was, like, Ellie had the choice of ignoring her thing for revenge, and live this perfect life with the girlfriend and the baby, and all that good stuff, right? But then she's like, no, I'm still gonna go out and have my revenge with Joel. And then the girlfriend was like, okay, well, I'll leave you, whatever. So she went out again, and this is such a long ass game,
It
and
really is. It's unnecessary because it's really unnecessarily
yeah,
long.
yeah, it
Like
was,
normally, I love getting all of us do. Mike, you, Kuya, me, we all love getting our money's worth out of that.
yeah,
When it becomes a chore, you go, oh, just end the damn game and stop with this. Now it
I know.
becomes
Right.
meandering.
And then at the very end, right? She had this choice of, like,
She had the choice.
let me off this girl, because, like, she killed Joel. But then what the fuck happened? Nothing.
She
She let her
everything.
go.
Well, a lot does really happen. You're right, and nothing happens, and a lot happens. Nothing happens in the fact that she didn't do that. She didn't get any revenge.
Mm-mm.
But we got a lot that happens where she lost everything and she lost more by losing her finger, to where she can't even play the song that Joel taught her that
Yep.
made her. That was the last memory the last true memory she had of Joel before his brains got bashed in.
Yep.
She has two memories: the astronaut memory where where they went on the astronaut mission and she went, and the memory of him teaching her the song, and
Yep.
she lost all of that, and we're left with that, and we're supposed to be going, oh, that's
I can't
good.
wait for part 3.
I can't wait for
Right?
3. I hope, you know what, Neil, I hope you hammer it even further up our butts, because at the fact of the matter is this: you really screwed everybody. And I'm not going to be mean. I'm not being, and this is not a knock. It sounds like it. I would trust Mike's children, who are far more intelligent than Neil Druckmann, to write something far more intelligent, far more entertaining, and far more compelling than anything this loser has written. I think any of your kids out there, to any of these listeners, if you have kids, your kids could do better. Brad, my boy, I love you. I know you love this game. If you had children, they could do better. You could do better.
Yep.
We all could do better. This is worse than basic third grade writing. This is ego. This is ego.
Yep.
It really is. This is a guy going, look at me. I'm fancy. I
I
had a
cur-
huge I had a huge hit,
Yep.
and now everybody loves me. So
Not
guess what
anymore.
I'll do? I'll step on their backs. I'll make sure that they lick my boot, and I'll make sure that when I make the utmost garbage in the world, they'll enjoy eating it. And if they criticize me, I'll say, peasants, be gone
Yep.
with thee. You are
Yep.
beneath thy. and I am above thee. So be gone. Shut up, asshole. You're garbage.
That's how he sounded in the tweets that when
He
with the
really
when the
did.
backstory happened.
He went
Yeah,
to like. I'm like, dude,
like instead of
you're a
like
white
accepting
guy.
the criticism, Mike, he
You're a hipster white
he
dude.
went off on people.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
how'd you
He's like
become
you
Sir
don't
Neil Druckmann all of a sudden?
yeah, he said like like people that complain don't understand the nuances of the storytelling, and then we were like, really?
Wow.
I'm like,
Yeah,
Oh, man.
dumb old hicks over here.
but
We ain't played no game, foe.
but
We just sitting here with our moonshine and our chew, and we just play a game occasionally.
Oh man.
so I do have opinions on who should win Game of the Year, just because like I've I've played a couple of them, and
Well,
and I've
I'm not. I
who's
didn't
your
play Hades.
wait
My
wait so
opinion,
your vote is Ghost of Tsushima.
it has to be just because unless Valhalla was put in there, the most fun I have had this year, and it's been close. Like I've played some great games, and I've had some good times with good people.
Hmm.
But Ghost of Tsushima has just made me so. It came after The Last of Us Part Two, and I was just like,
You were waiting for something, right?
well,
Get that
not
taste out of
only
your mouth.
that, I'm like, am I losing my mind? Is this? And then Ghost of Tsushima said, "Hey, bro, cool, take it easy, breathe.
Yep.
You're
I got.
good.
We
We
got
got
this.
you.
We got you.
Exactly. We got you, bro. We got you. You're a bro. You're a bro. We got you. We're sucker punch. We got you. We'll take
Yeah.
care of that Neil Druckmann
Mike,
trash. We got you.
Ghost of Tsushima is such a simple game, right?
And it
It's like
is. It's not
follow the wind
complicated.
for your next mission.
Exactly. It's
Press
not
X,
complicated. But
press triangle, press
in that
circle, press
simplicity,
square.
oh,
I want to play it. I need to play it.
it's so beautiful.
It's a beautiful
It's
game.
so
Like
and when
you will
you
get stuck.
when
You will
you
just get stuck like walking around, and then when you see like leaves falling, oh shit, I should take a picture.
and
There's like a picture mode.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful game.
That's what I heard. It's
Um,
beautiful.
they had to add the Kurosawa mode.
yep, the Kurosawa mode, which is black and white, by the
Oh
way.
Just,
man.
So
Oh
just
my god. Now I
like
need to play it.
even the audio. Did you hear Pinhead? You like for the Kurosawa mode? Like it sounds like an old film. Like you hear the little you hear the little clickety clack of the
I got
film.
like Mike with Man of Steel. I was like, "Nee." I was so excited because I'm like this, and Marty, one of our coworkers, he's like, you need to get on it.
Yeah,
And I
To play it.
did, and
I want to
he
play
was
it. Now I
right.
want to play it.
Oh God, it's great. And
yeah.
I'm not saying that it should like, but if The Last of Us 2 beats this, just because we're all
A lot of people are. I
Malone.
think this is what's gonna happen, Pinhead. Like I think a lot of people are gonna vote for two games, right? Just because of recent happenings. Ghost of Tsushima because it's absolutely beautiful. It was great. It was a great story, great everything, all the things that you wanted in a hack and slash adventure type of game, right? And I'm surprised, but Hades, Hades is an absolute fun game. A lot of people say it's difficult because like they don't know how to play it. Once you learn how to play the game, uh, you can just play it like endlessly for the rest of your life, and you won't lose any. You won't get bored. I followed this one guy in our like on Twitch, right? Uh, he played Hades for like I want to say 5 weeks straight. He beat the game the very first time he played it. The very first time.
Yeah.
He's like, "Wow, this is kind of a fun game. Let me try again." And so he tried with a different setup, different weapons and all that stuff. So the thing with Hades is you have a choice of like what kind of weapons you're going to use: sword,
Yeah.
shield, spear, uh, fist, and all that stuff, and bow and arrow and all that good stuff, right? And you keep playing it until you beat Hades, which is like the god of the underworld, and then you'll upgrade yourself every single time, and it cycles through. And the funny part is, like, it seems like it's endless, but you keep dying at the very end after you beat Hades. So you start over from the very beginning, but
Yeah.
upgraded.
Right.
So once you figure out like the situation, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, well, let me just change up my gameplay. So if you're this type of player, you have a gameplay for that. If you're another type of player, you have this kind of gameplay for that.
So
So,
you do endorse the game.
oh yeah, I endorse Hades, but in my heart of hearts, I think Ghost of Tsushima should win.
And that's what
Animal Crossing is great because it's fun. Um, for the nostalgia geeks, Final Fantasy VII remake was absolutely beautiful. I fell in love as soon as I saw as soon as I saw like the trailer. I was like, okay, cool. This might
it
be
was
one of.
fun.
Oh yeah,
It was a blast. Whether it lived up to what people wanted for this long wait, I understand. It was a blast. It was fun.
but again, is it Konami or no, Square Enix? They're gonna milk this for what it's worth. So they're gonna make like probably 3 or 4 games out of this.
Well, yeah, there's gonna be like 3 Star Wars trilogies worth of this stuff, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
gonna be.
definitely,
But
man.
but
So
but the fact of the matter is, as we wrap this up, I just want to say the nightmare scenario is likely to happen because Jeff Keighley and company, they're gonna put their sway in, and I'm telling you, I see Last of Us taking this home, and like I said, if it does, I have
if
no faith in humanity
if you
anymore.
don't know if it happens, it happens, and that's what it is. But everybody, all the gamers know like which game was more superior.
Exactly, they have
Like
to because
they're
everybody.
gonna say Tsushima was way better than The Last of Us 2, definitely.
And you know what? When The Last of Us 2 wins, I'm gonna do what everybody else does. I'm gonna cry racism. So
Hey,
Wow.
the only fun part of The Last of Us 2 was you get to play like real songs with the guitar thing, which is kind of cool. So
that was
that.
cool. And I'm not gonna lie.
But
The first
again,
couple of times I was
that's
Abby
not.
and I went Big Papa Pump on a zombie,
Yeah, yeah.
that was fun the initial first couple times. And then it kept happening and happening and happening. And she became a
It became
redemption song.
tedious. Yeah, it became
Yeah, and she
tedious.
became a redemption song on top of that. And there's just like people, you keep saying bad storytelling, so
It,
it was bad storytelling. Is okay. Real
it's the
quick,
same
before we
coin. It's the
before we
same
move on,
coin.
I'll prove. I'll tell you a prime example of bad storytelling. We're in a zombie apocalypse. Resources are slim to none. Correct. Medicine is hard to find. Food is hard to find. Correct. Gas is
Hmm.
hard to find if we have it. But
Yep.
Big Papa Pump over here has a full furnished gym with plenty of dumbbells to pump iron, and she has creatine and all this stuff that is a luxury, but you don't have ammo hardly for guns. You can't eat, but you got creatine in a fully furnished gym and spa. And I'm like, bad storytelling. This is a trademark of bad storytelling. This is a simple third graders, huh? Gee, sir, Mr. Druckman, it's the zombie apocalypse, and they can't find food. But big buff boy over there, he has creatine and can pump weights. Sir, can you explain it to me? Well, little Jimmy, you're just a moron and you couldn't understand the complexities of my storytelling. Shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Okay,
Their base
question.
was the Seahawks. The Seahawks stadium. That's probably why they saw creatine and shit. So
Well, the fact of the matter is it's bad storytelling.
So,
that's
question about the video game awards. When do we find out the winners?
December
Well,
10th.
December 10th.
Okay,
That's like
and then as far as voting, are you only allowed to vote once, or can you vote like once a day?
I'm not sure about that. I'm hoping it's a one and done thing, but
Right,
I'm not gonna quote it because I don't know. But
right, right.
you're, everybody is more than welcome to
Did
go to VGA.com and
Yeah.
and vote away. And if you can vote more than once, hey, press that button away for Last of Us Part 2, because he's a
Yeah.
master. He's great. He's the Michael Bay of.
Wow.
So
Michael Bay did
I'm
make
not
The
talking
Rock,
about '90s Michael Bay either.
like The Rock, right?
I'm talking about late 2000s Michael Bay.
oh, man.
Oh,
So
the second Transformers.
as far as the Last of Us, I started the first game back on the PS3, and then I never got to finish it. But then Pinhead lent me the remastered version for PS4, so I'm still playing through that. But when The Last of Us 2 came out, it was earlier this year, right? Like months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when that game came out, like everyone at work was just talking about it and like was just like hating on it and like shitting on it, and I was like, "What the what's going on? Like, what is the big deal?" So I straight up like asked like Pinhead, like, "Tell me what's up," and then even Nick as well, and then they explained it to me. So I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So, and I was like, "Yeah, just lay all the spoilers. Like, I just want to know, like, what's the big deal? What's going on?"
I mean, the
That's
issue.
why I tell you. That's why I tell you, you naysayer Last Jedi fans have nothing to cry about, considering what we got. At least you got a coherent storytelling. It may not have been great to you, but it
Jester.
was coherent.
Hmm.
Unlike
the way-
Last of Us Part 2, where we just went, I am a god among gods, and I think I'm better. Like I don't like that I'm better than you mentality, and that's his attitude.
Yeah. By the way,
And the damn the torpedoes, as the saying goes.
Jester, who is absent from this episode, of
Who?
course.
Mike? Who are you talking to?
Who? Oh, the diva.
Never heard of her.
Cupcake,
Who's probably enjoying his quote unquote beauty sleep
Never heard of her.
of her.
Yeah, never heard of her.
Boba Fett's. Sarlacc Pit. Ahsoka
Oh.
Tano. Ahsoka Tano.
Okay.
So yeah, and then Ghost of Tsushima, I haven't tried yet, but I've heard that it's really beautiful. So that after you guys talked about it, now
Like,
I wanna play it.
People use the pictures of Ghost of Tsushima as their background for their phones or
I
for their
know.
computers.
Oh man.
That's how amazing the graphics are
Right,
with that
right.
that game.
Mike, check
Yeah,
it out.
just
man.
play it.
It
So
is
it's not an
phenomenal.
RPG, right? It's not an RPG. It's like
You level up the character and all that
Okay.
stuff, but
It's not
it's
an
more
RPG in the traditional sense of where you just what you think an RPG is.
right.
This is like it takes the idea of an RPG and turns it more into a hack and slash.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like God of War in a
And
sense.
I don't like debasing it like, oh, it's a hack and slash and that's all it is. It's
Right,
so
right.
much more than that, but it's taking that idea of the RPG and is like, look, we need to make this accessible to people who really want to enjoy video games. Like I honestly, if she buckled down, my grandmother could play this and she would enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, because
It's not that hard to pick up. That's what makes it
there's
so
different
addicting
levels.
and fun.
Yeah, there's different levels of the game. So
Exactly.
there's
You
like
could
a
be
cinematic
a
game.
bum.
Yeah, a cinematic game. All you press is X, and just kill everybody.
wow.
or
That's
you
crazy.
could be on that, like our coworker Jason, and be on that Uber.
Hardcore.
I'm great at every game, and I can beat anybody with a snap of my finger.
Yeah.
And put it on ultra hard. That's fine, and you'll
As
get your
far
challenge.
as
Either
yeah.
way, you're winning.
As far as personal preference, I just like to play games where I can just like I can play for like 30 minutes to maybe an hour, and then that's it, and then go back
You
into
could
it.
do
later.
that with Ghost of
Like,
Tsushima.
Yeah, and that's great. So that's cool.
It's got you liked Fallen Order.
Yeah.
It's Fallen
Mhm.
Order for samurai.
There we go. That's it. That's all you had to say then.
There's no force powers though, so I'll just be.
Well, that's why I'm saying
There's no Star Wars references or anything like that.
they
Mike,
are
so,
samurai, correct?
I love samurai.
So-
I love samurai stuff.
Although George Lucas like copied
Pretty much Jedi,
Kurosawa's
of course.
magnificent works for
Here
to
comes the hate
to
wave.
wait, did I say anything?
Inspiration.
Inspiration,
Well,
my ass.
hey, if you're gonna go down that road, he also took a lot from Flash Gordon too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, the best artist steal, right?
Mm,
I know I do.
or
I'm
adapt.
not- yeah.
Alrighty, so pretty much wraps up.
Yep. So Ghost of
Yep, that's
Tsushima, people. Ghost of
Let's
Tsushima.
go, Ghost. Let's go, Ghost. Let's go, Ghost.
Alrighty, so moving on Tuesday, on November 17th, we had the third year anniversary of the Justice League theatrical cut. But of course, that is a thing of the past now, even if
Well, just remember, Zach still gets credit for it, though.
right,
Legally.
right.
Legally.
It still says directed by Zack Snyder.
Well,
although-
they legally have to.
right. He claims that he's never seen it. So, so they did announce on Vero. Zack Snyder announced that he was going to have a live stream trailer breakdown at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And so at 9 a.m. Pacific time, lots of people logged on Vero, social media app.
Yep.
And he's a proponent of that social media app because if I'm not mistaken, he's buddies with the owner. He knows the owner or like the CEO of that social media app. And it's very streamlined, very simple. It's not as complicated as like something like Facebook where there's just so much going on now. There's like so much there. So anyway, a lot of us logged on and he basically started the live stream right away. And he broke down. So before the trailer breakdown, they basically re-uploaded a brand new, well, not a brand new, but a similar trailer to what we got months ago during the summer in DC Fandom. But this one was a black and white trailer first that was uploaded, and then later on they uploaded the full color trailer. So it uses the song Hallelujah, like the first trailer, and then a lot of people said, well, why are we seeing the same? It's the same exact thing. But if you look closely, it's actually not the same thing. There are some new scenes in the trailer. And so Zach breaks down the trailer and he goes basically scene by scene explaining what's going on and, everything in that scene. So let's see. You want to say something, Kuya? Go ahead.
He
No,
really
I'm
does.
gonna let you
wanna
finish.
let it out? You want to cry now?
I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
that's pretty
I'm gonna
much
let you
it.
finish.
Well, I don't want you to spoil it, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and vent out right now.
Yeah, might as well. We're out on the table. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on.
When people tell me that there's like a big thing coming or happening, like for example, November 17th is a big day because blah 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 blah. There's a huge announcement for everybody. Blah 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 blah. I can't wait to show it to you guys, etc. I'm expecting a little something, a black and white version of the same trailer that I saw months ago. Is it wasn't really it for me. You know what I mean? Like I was when I saw it, I was just like, oh, okay, so it's black and white. So what's the big deal? And then like I saw his explanations of the scenes, the different scenes. Oh yeah, this is where the arrow that the Amazons threw, like and Diana went over there, and then and Ezra, this is the superpower, and Speed Force, blah 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 blah. I already know what the Speed Force does. You don't have to explain it to me. Like that's why everybody has to be careful. Like that's why all that good stuff. I want scenes. I want new things. I want 3 seconds of something new. I want like something.
You got 6 new scenes in that trailer.
No.
It's right there on the screen cap.
No.
Those are brand new scenes.
It's
added.
the same one. It was the same one.
No, it's not. Hippolyta was never in that first trailer. You see Hippolyta right there.
Who cares about Hippolyta?
Well, you're asking for new, and that there was new. There was new stuff there.
I know, but who cares about Hippolyta? She's a side character. Nobody cares about side characters except for Jester.
There was a new shot of Cyborg. There was a new shot of the Batmobile. A new shot of Yuxus right there.
Uxas was there at the very beginning.
Right, but it's a new shot. You're asking about new stuff, and there was new stuff.
It's not new, man. It's the same
Yes, it
thing.
is. It wasn't in the
Give
first.
me a scene of the complete scene of Ezra Miller
It's a
saving
trailer.
Iris West.
It's a trailer.
Exactly.
It's a trailer.
Give me
You can't
something.
expect the full scene
I'm saying, why are we showing another goddamn trailer
because the visual
for
effects
this?
are not ready. It's a 4-hour cut. There's 4 hours,
Jesus
right?
fucking Christ.
They're working through it.
The Batman with Matt Reeves barely had a movie, and they cut like a minute 30 of a trailer already.
That is true.
Can you explain that to me?
Well, they were in full production, and he didn't get kicked off. He didn't get
I'm,
fired.
no, they had COVID, didn't they?
Yeah, but no one got fired.
It didn't matter. He wasn't. He
Yeah,
didn't
it did.
fire.
Yeah,
He
it
left
does.
himself. He left. He didn't get fired. He left
That's what they tell you.
for personal reasons.
Oh, of course, but then they pretty much fired him. They took him off. If you remember, when they were filming Justice League, Batman v Superman just released. And then the week after, they were filming Justice League, and that when the polarizing reaction to BVS was like, you either love it or you hate it, and a lot
They
of people
panicked.
hated it.
They panicked.
Warner
Yeah.
Brothers panicked.
Yeah, they
They
panicked.
were trying to, and a lot of things changed on the set of Justice League, and they were looking for a way out. And when, of course, the unfortunate tragedy of Autumn Snyder, when she committed suicide, Warner Brothers execs pretty much saw the way out for Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
And
that was some underhanded shit that shouldn't
Right.
have happened.
And in all actuality, if they really wanted Zack Snyder to finish the film, they should have just held off and said, okay, we're taking a break. Take all the time you need. Go be with your family. We will resume production 2-3 months from now. Or,
No, but they wanted to follow the coattails of the MCU at that time. So
of course. And
that's
let's
the issue.
get Joss Whedon, who did the Avengers, to do the Justice League. And you still have a lot of people.
Scumbag.
A lot of people on social media to this day still think that Zack Snyder hired Joss Whedon
No,
to
he
finish
didn't.
his film.
Yeah, that
I
Why
never
would
made
anyone
sense
want
to
to
me.
hire? Why would someone like Zack Snyder hire Joss Whedon to finish his film if he just knew he was going to trash it and mess it up?
Yep.
And basically screw him over.
No, but this is what I'm saying, Mike. Okay, if you make a big announcement online on social media saying there's going to be something awesome, something fresh, something new. I granted that the black and white version of the trailer was cool because it gave that little, a different vibe to it, like a more artistic look on things. It was the same goddamn song. It was mostly the same scenes, I guess. Give me 3 seconds of the general changing into fucking Martian Manhunter. Give me, a scene with with Batman fucking like tag teaming with Superman about something, like like Superman grabbing him and throwing him to some parademons or some shit. I don't know. It could have happened in the scene. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with the scenes. But give me a little. They call it a teaser. Give me a little tease. Don't give me like 6 fucking different pictures on the same trailer.
Well, you got a tease. You got 6 different new teases.
That's not a tease. That's like fucking like let me show you my tits, but then and then it's gonna be like it's like no.
Well, that is a tease.
No, that's not teasing.
Expectation. This is exactly what you're explaining about The Last Jedi and fans expecting so much, and when they didn't get what
I
they
am not
expected.
expecting much. I
That's
said
what
give me
was
3 seconds of 3 seconds of Martian Manhunter. Give me 5 seconds of the war with the old gods, Uxas versus the old gods.
right.
Give me something.
Well,
Don't
you
give
got
me-
something. It just wasn't up to your expectation, and that's why you're so disappointed.
Because nobody cares about Hippolyta. Nobody cares about side characters, man, except for
Well-
Jester.
Well, we care about. I care about side characters. He was even talking about Volko, who was actually in the original cut of Justice League, but we didn't
Exactly.
see till Aquaman.
Yeah, but then like who cares? All we saw was
fans
Amber
do.
Heard. Amber Heard.
The fans,
Nobody cares about Amber Heard.
the fans care about.
They want Keanu now. Shit.
So, to be fair, in the announcement, it did just say trailer breakdown with director Zack Snyder. Now, a lot of the fans, of course, and I'm part of it, and I'll admit I was disappointed initially after it ended because it abruptly ended. But then I remembered that when he did a live stream months ago, pretty much during the summer, of he did the live commentary live stream of Batman versus Superman.
And then all of a sudden he said, "Oh, here's the teaser," or
The
here's
live
something.
stream abruptly ended before he could finish what he was saying. So he was trying to tease something, and then weeks later they announced, "Oh, for the anniversary of Man of Steel, we're going to do another live commentary." And
Yeah.
at the end of that, that's when he
Oh,
had
yeah. Here's Henry Cavill.
announcement
Yeah.
for the Snyder cut. So this is mirroring exactly what happened before.
I know, but what happened after the stream when it abruptly cut? Nothing.
Right. Everyone waited for 3 minutes and 14 seconds.
I waited longer than that because I was like,
So-
hey, maybe
So did I. And a
maybe
lot of
he started the damn
And a
he
lot of
started the
other
damn
fans
thing.
waited, but nothing. But you know what? I realized like he didn't even have to do this. But the fact that he did it, it was cool. Like I still enjoyed it. And
It was okay, but again, for me it was a letdown. Let's just say that.
yeah,
I'm still gonna watch the 4 hour.
of course you will.
Yeah, but give me 3 seconds of the general changing into Martian Manhunter for Christ's sake.
I
That's it.
think
Give me like 3 seconds. Give me
you're gonna get all of that in the
give me
next.
or instead of the trailer, how about like give me like 15 seconds, 30 seconds of a conversation with Lois and Clark, like in the thing before he makes up his mind and chooses the black the black whatever, the black suit or the red suit or whatever.
Right,
You know what I'm talking about? Like
right.
something like that. I'm sure based on the things that he's done, I'm sure like there's some scenes already that's done. Give me something.
Right. Well, I mean,
You
he's
know,
obviously
give me like Vic's reaction when he scored the touchdown. He looked around, he looked for his dad, and nothing's there. Give me his reaction of that disappointment.
you're gonna see all of it in the final version. And if you were listening closely, he mentions there's an empty seat, and those
I know about the MTC, but like again, I wanted to see the reaction
you're
to his
asking about the
face.
film already. The film is not until 2021. You want it now, and so do I, and so do a lot of other fans. But it says 2021. So I also want to point out they also he also revealed the a new close up of Steppenwolf, who looks
Yeah,
vastly different from what he looked like.
I know he glowed up.
Huh?
He bought some bling, huh? And he looked more
Right.
spiky.
Because his armor is actually like moves with him and like morphs and like changes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
and then I like the fact that Zack Snyder was explaining that in that scene with Barry Allen, it says Barry was applying for a job at a pet store before he rescues Iris. And then in the shot in the movie, his shoes explode off his feet because he's running too fast, and then that's why he's barefoot in the scene when he rescues Iris. And he has to be super careful with moving people at that speed because he might tear off people's limbs because of how fast he's going. And the way Zack Snyder explains it, he's going with a very realistic approach. I mean, as far as like, yeah, this is like pretty much like comic book sci-fi stuff, but he's still going with that realistic approach. Where when he explained that, it reminded me of
He
the
was talking
CW
about the Speed
Flash.
Force, and then no, he was talking about the Speed Force, and then he
Right.
was like, and then he was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that right now,
Well, that
just because he was like the scene like
right in that scene,
where Barry sees like whatever that scene is like with all
right.
darkness and
He didn't
all
go into
lightning.
detail with that one, but then when
Yeah,
he was mentioning that Barry has to be careful when he moves people at that speed, it reminded me of the CW Flash because the CW show, the Flash, when Barry is moving through the Speed Force, when he finds out that he can bring people with him, he just has to touch them, and then they can move along with him through the Speed Force. So that it kind of reminded me of that, where It's not that for Zack Snyder's Flash and what Barry Allen does. It's not that easy. Like there's a little bit more care into how when he rescues people, like he has to be really delicate because he's moving fast. But in the CW Flash, all Barry Allen has to do in the CW Flash TV series is just touch someone like on their shoulder. Oh, and then you're in the Speed Force now. You can move with me, like So it felt like a knock towards the CW. Flash.
Nah, they love Arrowverse, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, and
he
that's
was
why
he
we
was
had
there.
that scene in the last crossover with Ezra Miller's Flash, seeing
Because Barry Allen never called himself the Flash
Grant Gustin's Flash.
in the movie.
Right, and that's where he gets it.
Yeah,
in that scene.
supposedly. Or I don't know if you heard that Ezra Miller is actually Wally West. Did you hear about that?
No, because they call him Barry in the movie.
But because he faked his ID because he wanted to succeed in something.
Oh god.
No, I don't like that. Nah,
I
I don't buy it.
Yeah, because
I don't get it.
they want to bring Grant Gustin in as the real Barry Allen.
Nah,
I'm just kidding. Not with his big ass head.
I don't know about that. But yeah, and then of course towards the end, they basically mentioned, of course, the hashtag Us United, which is the new campaign, with that new Dark Side T-shirt. They're trying to raise as much money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So I did share the link for
Did you buy
that.
one already?
What was
Did
that?
you buy one? Did you buy one already?
I will tomorrow.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, so it's a really cool shirt, really cool design, and then
Yeah, but you don't like white shirts though. That's the
I don't, but
that's the
I'll do
problem.
it. I'll do it for the foundation to help
Yeah.
support. And they also still have some of the other Zack Snyder shirts there as well, and they've got some beanies. I may get a beanie with it says Zack Snyder's Justice League, so that's really cool. And then supposedly there's about 2.5 hours of unseen footage in that cut. And then, of course, you've got a lot of people on social media who are saying this is no longer the Snyder cut; it's a different film. I'm like, how can you say that it's not the Snyder? It's still his cut. It's still his vision. It's still everything that we never got to see.
You
Like,
think the surprise is gonna be like, hey, you know what? Like just because like you guys were so good with buying Wonder Woman, like or using HBO Max to purchase Wonder Woman, to purchase so that you can watch Wonder Woman for Valentine's Day or for March 14. I don't know, 3/14. Remember?
actually, I think we're gonna get something on 214 on.
No, but like on 3/14, right? That's the thing for Zack Snyder. Was it
Right,
3/14 or something?
right.
It's like, hey, we'll give you a choice. You guys can watch the full entire movie in one shot, or you can do the series in the HBO Max.
I
Like
don't think
one in the movies and then one in the. I don't know, man. That'd be kind of cool. 4-hour movie.
that would be
I
that
would
would be
be like,
cool. I'd
uh,
be down. And
Pinhead. What do you think? 4-hour
I'm
movie. Are
going
you
for
down?
the 4-hour movie because I'm not like these people. I'll watch it in its full setting. Like I watched every single one of the Lord of the Rings extended editions in one sitting.
Yeah.
right. And when
It don't mean shit to me to watch this.
when
in
they
4
announced the runtime for Avengers Endgame last year, and that it was clocking in at what 3 hours?
Yeah. If
Like
Avengers can do it,
a lot
I'll
of
take an
people
extra.
a lot of people were worried about like taking a break, go into the restroom, and it's like the simple like, okay, have you guys have never gone to like a Lord of the Rings movie, obviously, or like just don't drink a whole lot of,
I drank a big. I drank the biggest soda I can buy, and I stayed through until like the end credits, man.
right.
It really aggravates me when the powers that be talk down to the general audience like they can't handle it. Lest we forget, this same general audience made Titanic, one of the biggest blockbusters in history, and it is well over 2 hours. Don't forget that they also made one of the
Avatar.
greatest masterpieces of all time, a 3-hour and 22-minute masterpiece. from Francis Ford Coppola and The Godfather Part 2. Those people sat through it. So don't talk down to the people and act like it hasn't happened through history where long movies like The Lord of the Rings, like The Godfather, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, like Titanic, like Avatar and Endgame,
Yeah.
like a lot of these movies, don't act like it hasn't been through history where people haven't sat through long movies and haven't enjoyed them. Let's stop with this
Well,
revisionist history.
remember before, of course, the pandemic, when movie theaters they were always concerned about the runtime of a film, because of course the shorter the runtime of a film, the more screenings you could have in a day, and
Yeah,
the
I
more you
understand.
could pack the theaters. But of course now with the
And
pandemic,
that mentality has been
changed. Exactly.
taken
Like
away
Thanos
because now
snapping his finger with the Infinity Gauntlet.
exactly. So now you're begging for it because
You want
I
quality
guarantee
now.
you a lot of these theaters would love that length of a film. So like I wanted Dune. If I had my way,
5
Dune,
hours. Give me 5 hours.
that would be part 1.
Give me 5
Right.
hours.
Like
I read the
seriously.
damn book. I read the damn book in
That's why so did
a
I.
5 hour movie.
Like that's why I really wanted him to do a series, but that's another debate for another. All I'm saying is moviegoers are a little more grown up than the studios are giving them credit for. So that's why I said, you asked me what would I choose? Straight 4 hours, because I would enjoy it. I'd be
Right.
drinking a beer, just drinking it,
Yeah.
just going, Zach, you're proving me right. Because a lot of you don't understand. Mike loves Zack Snyder. I haven't voiced it. I fucking think Zack Snyder is a fucking genius. I'm sorry, but I'm
That's
saying it
right. He is a fucking
like that. I'm saying it like that because he is a genius. Because I'm the one that had to fight for him in the horror community when people are going, "Don't get Sam. I'm like, you're idiots. You don't get it. The Dawn of the Dead remake is the best remake since John Carpenter's remake of The Thing.
Yeah.
He's on that level of thinking. Go back and watch it. It's on that level. You guys bitch and moan. And I'm talking, you know what fans I'm talking about. Even if those fans watched it, you probably will. So you can go, oh, this guy with cracked glasses named Pinhead's telling me what I know. I'm telling you right now, you garbage toxic fans out there have been trashing Zack Snyder for far too long. Zack Snyder knows what he's doing. He has a vision. Let him do it. He did it with 300. He did it with The Watchmen. He did it with Dawn of the Dead. And guess what? All 3 of those movies were pretty big successes.
Right.
You guys only started crapping on him toward the end of The Watchmen. And then when Sucker Punch came out, you went, oh, well.
But
But
if you
Sucker Punch was
but
actually
if
a
you
movie.
actually watch the movie, Sucker Punch is such a deep movie.
It is a
Think about
deep
it.
movie. It's not
Right.
only deep; it's complex. It's very intricate. It's got a little bit of a Nolan-esque vibe to it.
Yep.
When you really sit down, when you don't go, it's Zack Snyder again. When you actually take the name out and you sit down and watch the movie,
Right.
it's very deep. It's
You
very
look beyond the
complex, and
visuals.
it's
Yeah.
very empowering to women. Which all you out there who complain want that to happen, you got a movie out there that empowers women, and I mean it empowers them. It makes them the forefront of a strong, powerful action movie like it should do.
Hmm.
And you're not looking to it because Zack Snyder, he didn't make Watchmen. Alan Moore, you're the exception to the rule because you deserve to, you can bitch because it's your baby. But the rest of you who are going, Alan Moore,
The
you're not Alan Moore, so shut up.
the ultimate edition of the Watchmen is
Is
the
the
one that,
closest to Moore's vision
yep.
as yeah, exactly. I agree.
Because the issue again is the way Alan Moore created the graphic novel is way too controversial for people.
And that's fine. That's
You know,
fine. That's fine. And I understand Alan Moore is a grouchy old fart, just like my grandpa was. God rest your soul. I loved your grandpa, but you and Alan Moore, you two are the grouchiest old farts on planet Earth. You're always mad about shit. Like you and Alan Moore, both you and Alan Moore could be good
So
friends if you didn't hate each other so
so
much.
so your grandpa Alan Moore and myself. That's pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
I was grouchy when I saw the black and white trailer, man. I was so mad.
Yeah, I
See,
could tell from the messenger
you're a
thread.
type of guy that I imagine you were grouchy at like the age 19. You were like you were an old
I've
man
been
in the
grouchy
young.
though, right, Mike? Like how when
Pretty
was
much.
yeah, like when I bought the Star Wars stuff that I actually want
Oh
to
yeah,
buy
right. You
anyways.
loved it. You loved it.
Oh, like I was
Mike already
grouchy.
got
No,
you
I
on
was
these.
grouchy, but like deep down, I was like, "Ooh, I got these
He
cool like
already
Star
said
Wars
you
stuff."
were gushing and you were
Oh
happy
yeah,
about it. You already got
Yeah.
called out on that one.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like
So
he said
speaking
you
of
were having a heyday.
oh yeah. So speaking of horror, um, we can't forget to mention also Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which will be on Netflix
Oh God, I
next
can't
year.
wait for that.
So that's gonna be a zombie-based
That's
film.
my league right there. See, all you guys are gushing about the Snyder cut, and I'm happy for you, and I'm waiting for it too. But I'm looking for that Zack Snyder,
Wait,
that next
is this
Zack
some?
Snyder horror movie
Is this a
because
movie or a
we've only
series?
gotten one.
movie.
Movie. Okay.
And
No, it's
there
a movie,
is
right?
yes, it's a movie, and there is also an animated prequel series, I think. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's a
but
series or an
that
animated
that
movie that's also
but
in
the main focus that is going to be a movie, correct? It's not a
yes,
series.
it's gonna be a
Okay.
film, yeah.
Yeah. See,
And
this is his return since Dawn of the Dead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and
Oh,
this is gonna be under his brand new new production company, the Stone Quarry, which is
Zach,
also working on Justice League, the Snyder Cut. So
Zach, I love you. Zach, I love you. If you ever see this, I love you. I think you're phenomenal, and keep hitting the home runs and putting the boot on the naysayers because the
make sure you
naysayers
tag
just
Zack
lick it.
Snyder on
oh
this one,
yeah,
Mike. Yeah,
oh yeah. And I'm gonna
'cause-
have to I'm gonna have to ask like listeners to maybe if they can count like how many times I've mentioned Man of Steel and Zack Snyder in all the episodes. I've tried to mention him at least once.
And if you're so if you're of
bold.
age, make a drinking game out of it, like I did with the Justice League drinking game,
Oh
which I
yeah.
will mention briefly. I've got a little treat for all you Justice League fans out there. We have a drinking game coming down the way, and it's not going to be too harsh. And please, when I give this information to you, please drink beer. Don't be a nut job and go, I'm the last of the big spenders, and I think I'm tougher than Pinhead, and I'm going to drink. You can't do it. Don't try. Don't try it. Leave the hard alcohol alone. Drink Dos Equis or something. But I got a drinking game for you guys for Justice League next podcast. It will be done. So Saturday, you'll be getting that information. But I am putting the disclaimer out there. Don't be idiots. Please drink responsibly, you
Right.
knuckleheads. God,
So
I
speaking of
shouldn't
that,
even have to say that.
yeah. So speaking of that song, the Hallelujah song, which a lot of people
Oh,
don't
God,
seem to like,
please, no.
you have to remember. So the deep cuts part of it is that the song actually means a lot to him and his family,
Yep.
and he's also using it basically as he's basically trolling the haters of that sex scene from Watchmen.
Hey, you know what? That when I heard the song and then when I saw the scene, I was just like, yeah, that's a good song too.
Right. And then also if when you listen to the song and the message, it actually relates very closely to the story of the Justice League Snyder cut in that where it's been and where it is now. Like it really is like a hallelujah moment. Like in that, we're like the fans have really made it the massive success that it is. So for those who are not familiar with the story, I'll try to briefly explain it. Um, so in 2017, when the Justice League film came out, it says on the credits it's directed by Zack Snyder, but of course, way before it was released, months before it was released, Zack Snyder, out of nowhere, of course, was pretty much booted off the film. His daughter committed suicide in an unfortunate, tragic event, and then of course he had to leave. He could not finish. That was a statement that he could not finish production. So, but then a lot of the hardcore fans know how much he has a passion for not just the Justice League, but what he started with Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. So the Justice League was a third film in a 5-part series that he had planned out. And then, of course, he got replaced by Joss Whedon. And then when Joss Whedon came in, of course, they announced that they were going to do some reshoots, which is something that's actually very common in a lot of movies. They always do reshoots
Right.
whenever they, finish a film or before the film comes out.
Mhm.
But of course, with those reshoots, sure enough, when we finally saw the final cut of the film on November 17th, 2017, it was it was a very different movie. You could tell. Tell what was made by Zack Snyder, what was shot by Zack Snyder, and you could tell what was like done by Joss Whedon, because of course Zack Snyder has a very distinct style, and
Mhm.
so does Joss Whedon. But of course, Zack Snyder's style is just way more distinct. And you also had the unfortunate event of Henry
Mustache kid.
Cavill with the
Mustache
infinite
kid. Yeah.
Deep Valley CGI upper lip, because he couldn't shave his mustache because he was filming Mission Impossible at the same time, and under contract he could not shave his mustache. So he was filming scenes in as Superman with a mustache, which actually I've seen some screenshots. It actually looked fine. They could have just gotten full beard, because if Superman returns like from the dead, it makes sense that his hair would grow longer and his facial hair
Yeah,
would have grown over time.
that was an easy fix.
Right. And they literally spent, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, at least a few $1,000,000 just for that CGI, and it looked terrible. And you open the movie with that, with a cell phone video shot by a kid interviewing Superman, like really, this is
That's
not
part
a
of my drinking game, by the way.
right. And so, and then of course, before the film was released, Junkie XL, who's the composer of BVS, along with Hans Zimmer, and was replaced like months before the film's release by Danny Elfman, who is actually a music screen legend as well,
Mhm.
composer. But what he did with the score of Justice League, it was not up to par as what we've seen before with Junkie XL. And there was even like a clip of like, oh, Danny Elfman composed the original theme of Batman in the 1989 Batman film, the Tim Burton film. And there's a hint of they released a clip, there was a hint of that. And I thought for a second, like, okay, big deal. Like after that, like when I saw the movie, I'm like, that's it. It's like a few seconds. Like they made such a big deal out of nothing. Like if I really wanted to hear that Batman '89 theme, then I'll watch that Batman '89,
Yeah,
which is still
or
great.
you
Don't
can
get me
just
wrong.
hear it.
Right. So just a few of those things among many others. But initially, as soon as within days of the release of Justice League in 2017 November, there was already a fan petition for release the Snyder Cut, and the hashtag release the Snyder Cut had grown over the years from 2017 to 2018, and then all Zack Snyder did was he did not even push for it. It was the fans really who demanded it and pushed for
The
it.
actors.
Yeah, and all Zack Snyder did was basically just fan the flames a bit and show the fans that he's got this cut, he's got this scene, and people for the longest time did not believe that the Snyder cut existed. And even if Zack Snyder posted a shot of like 4 or 5 film reel canisters saying like ZS cut, like the, and him like visually proving that he's got a Zack Snyder cut, and they were just like, no, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. All this like bull crap that it doesn't exist. And finally, so fast forward to November of last year, right around the same time, a year ago, uh, Warner Brothers executives and DC Comics and pretty much the big wigs and the AT&T executives, they contacted Zack Snyder and basically met with him pre-pandemic, they went over to his house and he screened his 4-hour cut in black and white for them. And after that screening, that's when they were convinced that it was time to really do something about this and to make things right, of course, because of what happened in the past. And so we got the announcement in May of this year that the Zack Snyder Justice League cut is happening, and it's going to be released in 2021 via HBO Max. And in the summer in DC fandom, that's when they confirmed that we're getting it in 4 different parts, 1 hour each. So I think they're referring to it as chapters, so 4 chapters, 1 hour each. So basically a 4-hour cut, and there's at least 2.5 hours there that we've never seen. But he also claimed that everything that we've seen in the Justice League 2017 film is basically like, so like a lot of those scenes, a lot of the reshot scenes, of course, we're not going to see. But even the final battle sequence against Steppenwolf and the Parademons, where the atmosphere and the clouds were all red, that was originally black.
Actually blue.
It was just a dark sky.
Black and blue, yeah.
Right. Joss Whedon colored it red just to add like a pop of color, which it actually looks fine to me. The red sky, it looks like foreboding, but it's not the original vision and version of Zack Snyder. But that's why when you see in the teaser, you see like I don't know if they're showing the, well, yeah, they're showing part of the sky. They're showing the, some of the scenes there. But yeah, Zack Snyder did mention his ultimate cut of the film is black and white, or ultimate version is black and white in IMAX. So depending on how this pandemic goes, hopefully whenever they release the Snyder cut on HBO Max, maybe later on when things are much better, we get a big screen treatment of it in IMAX. And I would love to see it, whether in color or black and white, give it to me. We're probably going to get, of course, the Blu-ray as well. Give me all the different cuts and everything in it. So
be like Snyder cut, like Snyder cut, ultimate Snyder cut, black and white Snyder cut,
Pretty much. Yeah. So it's really exciting. And again, there's just a big movement. And as far as that as well, the fans coming together and raising funds in honor of Adam Snyder for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. The fans even got Subway to donate like thousands of dollars to the cause for suicide prevention. And Zack Snyder even mentioned, even if the film never happened, the fact that all the fans got to raise so much money for the AFSP is just a huge accomplishment in itself. So, and currently they've been able to raise like $430,000. So, and the goal,
and that's,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. That's another reason why it's important, not to damper the mood, but that's another reason why it's important for you guys to watch this when it comes out, because it's going to be a memento, a swan song to his daughter. The way he'll set it up and edit it and how he'll put it together, it's going, it's going to be
for Autumn,
a subtle send off to his daughter. And that's another reason why it is important to watch this, because he's getting his angst, his pain. He's getting it all out there, and he deserves to, because, no one deserves to lose anybody in their life like that. And that's why this is important, because mental health is a huge issue in this country that people just like to scoff at and look across. We talk about a lot of issues, but for whatever reason, mental health in this country, it's the black sheep, and we don't like to talk about it, and we really need to start talking about it more, so we can prevent young ladies like this from killing themselves, prevent people like Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, Kurt Cobain's, the people that have knocked themselves off because they just felt like with all that they've had in their life, it still didn't feel like they had anybody that they could reach out to. We need to help these people. Yeah. We really do. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is I can personally say I speak personally about this is because I am someone that suffers from this kind of thing, and I understand I'm in the mental health system. I can say that from personal experience, it needs to be addressed more often, because there are points where you feel this melancholy feeling, and then that melancholy feeling turns into stuff you just feel like you can't talk to people about. And for any listener out there that feels like you're in this dark position where you feel like there's no hope and you feel like you have to take your life, don't. There's another way. And that's why this thing that he's doing is so important right now, because a lot of people need that hand reached out to them, telling them that, I don't care, I'm going to say it like I say it, fuck it. There's a better way.
Mm-hmm.
There is a better way. Trust me, there is. Speaking from someone who has gone through it, I'm telling you, people, there is a better way out there.
Right.
And
Reach out
this is an important cause. So please support Snyder, not just in this cut, but the t-shirts he puts out there. This isn't just some bullshit corporate. This is for a legitimately good cause. I can't hammer it home enough. Please support this, because we need to get this out there. It's important. So no more people have to lose loved ones like this.
Right. Make sure to reach out and talk to someone, and especially, of course, for not just for women, but of course for men as well. For the longest time, there's been the stigma that, oh, men can't show their emotions or their feelings, or
Yeah, don't talk about your feelings.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
can't express their feelings, but
That's what podcasts are for, man. I'm here to
Exactly.
show my feelings and express them.
exactly.
People
Amen.
don't agree with my feelings, but hey, you know what? I don't care.
Right.
We're
And,
still here for you, Kuya.
right. And then I've actually been able to work with a lot of youth for over a bunch of years, having worked with the Catholic Church, of course, and Kuya has been a part of that as well. We've seen a lot of teenagers, of course, from age 12, 13 to like 19, and of course the and above that as well, the what we call the singles, who are not married but living young college lives and all that. It's easy to put a mask on and act like everything's fine and everything's cool and everything's normal, but and it's easy to hide that stuff, but then when you put that mask on,
You
you
lose who you are.
exactly, and you forget that there's that pain that's brewing in there. So yeah, we definitely want to encourage people to reach out to someone and talk to someone, especially now, of course, during
You
the
know,
pandemic, where a lot of people feel isolated.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
If you guys feel isolated, if you need somebody to talk to and you don't want to talk to your family members, send Mike like a comment on YouTube. Send Mike a comment on Instagram. Send
yeah,
Pinhead.
send a DM,
Send us something.
slide into
Yeah.
the
Like
DMs.
we will give you guys words of encouragement, or if if you're one of those really you know avid listeners, we will give you guys words of not encouragement. Like in regards to talking about stuff, like I really need to talk to somebody right now. I really think that the Last Jedi is so perfect and so wonderful, and then we'll give you a good conversation with
Oh,
that.
was that coming from Jester?
I don't know,
I mean,
because
heck, if you want to, if you really feeling that bad, you can tell me how John Cena's gotten you through some dark times. And I
yeah,
know that sounds like a jab, but I'm not being funny. Like, there are some people that have gotten through the darkest lives in their time because of him. And
yeah,
I'll give him that much respect, because there are, people write wrestling off, but there are a lot of characters in that organization that have kept people from taking their own lives. So, if you need to reach out, talk to us if you have to.
yep,
And if that's not what you want to do, reach out to someone,
yep.
because the the last option is not an option at all. That's
Right.
all I'm saying.
It's
The
a
option
perm
that you want to take, that you think, I'm telling you,
it's a
I,
it's a
I'm talking as from experience. I've been down that road. I've been through. That's not the option you want to do.
Yeah.
That's not the road you want to go down. Trust me.
It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
And
And
you're affecting a lot of people other than yourselves when you do that.
yeah.
So you just get that help. This is a great cause. And like I said, I didn't want to make this an ultra political, preachy thing, but it really is a good cause. I'm proud of Zack Snyder. My heart goes out to you. May your daughter rest in peace. My heart goes out to your family, and I really mean that. Zack Snyder, you're a true OG because you fought him through all this, and you're still pushing out that word. You want to talk about all these faux celebrities who fake their concerns and all their virtue signaling. You're not talking about Zack Snyder, a man who's actually getting out there and making a difference in this world. You'd rather trash him. Shame on you.
Mhm.
Shame on you out there who are doing that. And this isn't the fanboy in me. This is the man in me. Shame on you who are trashing him instead of posting him up. But you'll post up Cardi B who's talking about her WAP all the time. Talking about WAP. That's a hero. But a man who's making a difference, you won't do. You should be ashamed of yourselves, and you need to learn your priorities. And that's where I end it.
I mean, Cardi B's WAP could
I
help
could talk
people out
about
too.
my WAP all day too, and I don't get that recognition. Trust me, I got a WAP too, and it's
I
good.
I
But
know,
it
but
don't
but
mean
but
that. But it don't mean I got to flaunt it.
I know, but again, sometimes
We out here making differences around here. We're not talking about our WAP and our pop and all this garbage. Like, pop is popping ass, and I won't finish the rest of it.
Yeah, I also want to mention. So I'm hoping that in the next trailer, we get one of these two songs that's used in the background. So it's Gary Clark Jr. and Junkie XL. They made a rendition of "Come Together," which they used in one of the first trailers for uh, Justice League when Snyder was still working on it. So it's either that or "Heroes" by Gang of Youths, which they also used in one of the trailers. Um,
Yeah.
so featuring a lot of Snyder's shots there, especially the "Come Together" one. I think that's the one they used for the Comic-Con exclusive look.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we'll get one of those two songs or maybe both. I don't know, but yeah,
I would much rather they just come up with something new.
or something new. Yeah.
I really because
They can use Cardi B's WAP for
or John Cena's "The Time Is Now." Maybe if we're going
Hey.
down that road. The "Come Together" cover is garbage to me, and the Heroes one has been done to death.
yeah.
If I had to choose a Heroes theme, it would be Wallflowers. The Wallflowers have come closest to the spirit of David Bowie's original song. And a lot of people don't like to admit that because it's more up tempo, but the way the Wallflowers do that song, I would much rather see that. But I just want something new.
Hmm.
How about here's a novel idea. How about you guys do original music and don't do a song from a rock band or an artist? Or how about we do that?
How about they just play the Wonder Woman theme?
That too?
I don't
But
know.
how about we stop intermixing these songs? Like I
Or they play the Superman the Super Friends theme in the cartoon in the 80s. I'm down for that.
hell yeah,
Right?
hell,
Right?
we're going with that one. Take Kuya's idea,
There you
please.
go.
We're going with that one.
Before Justice League was released on Blu-ray and DVD, they straight up made a promo video, I think on social media, which pretty much looked like the Super Friends. And
Well, there you go.
I mean,
All we need is like
theory,
Zane, the Wonder Twins and Gleek. So
it sounds fun, but for a Zack Snyder film,
oh no,
doesn't
it's too campy. Yeah.
exactly. So when they did that, I was like, oh,
No, but it's whatever. It's okay. Hey, you know what? To be honest with you, they can do one of those Japanese hard rock bands, like the ones that make the anime opening themes.
Yeah.
All those,
like just like
those
you
90s
you
metal
always get
themes. They
yeah
think we're still 90s metal.
you always get hyped out. You always get hyped when you watch those anime things.
Right.
So
Well, we shall see. We'll see what happens. But I am excited to hear Junkie XL's original score. He did post a preview of the score on his social media, and it sounds way better than what I've heard from the Danny Elfman score. So I'm already excited for that. Um,
it's a different theme. Like,
To you listeners out there, on a related note, can you answer this question and put it out there? Mike is saying he's putting it on YouTube. Put it out there. What is the name of Danny Elfman's band? And don't give him any hints, Kuya. You answer that correctly, you'll get a special treat from Pinhead.
Ooh,
A fun fact that is very interesting.
yeah,
interesting.
fascinating. All righty. Well, seems like a good time to wrap up this emergency bonus episode.
Oh, it's probably like longer than the other episodes that we have ever done.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we only
Hey,
had 3
hey,
topics.
you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm perfectly fine with it.
Exactly.
Didn't-
And it
didn't-
was so much better without
we
Jester around
we
here.
didn't miss a
That
beat.
fucking
We didn't have anything. We like I don't know. I like every voice was counted, right? All of our voices were counted.
Yeah, I think so. I think
That's
so.
all.
we didn't go too high off the hog, We tried to make it respectful for you people, We
Yeah,
got a couple of dirty little words out there, but
Sorry.
you're big boys and gals. You can handle that.
Yeah,
Just as
we
long
just
as
want to be.
we're not going crazy. But
So
we were actually good Christian
Mike's
little
Mike's
boys.
family, who knows me and knows my family, I apologize for cussing.
Yeah, if they're even watching.
Hey, you never know. I'm just
Right, that's
saying.
true.
I'm just saying. Like your dad was like, "Wow, I didn't realize your friend Kuya James is like that." I'm like, oh, sorry, sorry,
To any
Tito.
of
I didn't mean. My bad.
to any of my family that might stumble on this, especially my mom, you knew your boy was a bad boy. You get what you get, You raised a little problem child, so
Nah, this has been like a fun thing. Like you should, I don't know.
no, I'm enjoying this, and I'm enjoying listening to the people. I want more people to listen to this. I want more
Yeah.
people to give us feedback.
Please like the video and also make comments. Subscribe to Filmmaker Mike and click that notification bell so
Yeah,
you will get the new videos.
yeah.
I'm just practicing myself, Mike. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't mean
That was
to
very
interrupt.
You're
good.
good.
Good
Okay.
You're
job.
good. You're good. Yeah,
Just
hopefully, assuming that this will be able to upload fine on YouTube. So
hey, you know what? We didn't play any like Universal music, did we? Any UMG music or anything like that?
no.
Compared to our last episodes, we kept the profanity to a minimum.
Yeah.
I know,
So,
which is kind of like surprising and a letdown in a sense. But it's okay.
that's all right. It's the new conservative. It's like when Stone Cold wore a suit for Vince McMahon for the first time. You never know.
Corporate
Maybe,
champ.
yeah, corporate champ. And maybe, just maybe, there might be a stunner around the corner. So just
But
be on your toes.
but that was the rise of jabroni rock though. That was kind of cool. So
Yeah, and it rose to one of the greatest rivalries of all time: Stone Cold versus The Rock.
there you go.
All right.
But we're getting into a territory where some of our listeners are going, no, this
Oh,
is Star
see,
Wars. They're talking about wrestling.
see,
Wrestling.
Pinhead, you and I can do one of those things and start talking about stuff. You know what I mean?
I think
And
so.
maybe we
I'm
can
happy.
invite Filmmaker Mike and
Sounds like an Instagram
whoever
live.
else and
Q&A session.
whoever else like who wants to join us
Yep.
Right.
to dive into the mindset of Pinhead as well as Kuya and be careful.
Because to be honest, I'm having one soon because Survivor Series is this Sunday. So we're getting close to one of those wrestling lives rambling.
To be honest with you, I haven't seen a program since COVID, bro. To be honest with you,
I'm back in because I have to be. So it's my
I'm like,
it's my side job now. So I have no choice but to do it. So
I gotcha.
Alrighty. So if you want to follow the show on Instagram, please follow at FMANDTB. So that's the Filmmaker Mike and the boys official Instagram. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Filmmaker Mike, and then on Twitter at Jedi Mike 1128. Kuya.
follow Mike, follow Pinhead, leave comments on the YouTube channel, please. Like we want to hear from you guys. Any violent reactions, any feedback, anything that we can do to improve, we'll do it. This is the first time you guys are seeing our faces. I'm sorry that you were expecting more,
I
but
know.
this is us. So yeah, just follow them, and I'm usually tagged in any of their stuff anyway, so you can follow me if you want to, but why? So go ahead, Pinhead.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Pinhead198. I do have another Instagram page, but it's not worth mentioning because there's nothing on it. And I'm
Yeah.
going to be starting my YouTube channel very, very, very soon. I
Ooh,
will
can
keep
can I get
people
invited?
updated on it.
Can
Oh,
I get invited? Can I?
everybody's invited. Trust me.
All right.
You may not like what you see,
Oh
but
no no no!
but every single person is invited to the party.
This is
Everyone.
this is gonna be like a train wreck. I wanna see it. Like everybody loves watching train wrecks.
It could be a train wreck. It could be a beautiful disaster. Who knows? We'll
Eh,
see.
wonderful.
So
Yeah. And so if for those listeners, if you're following us on Spotify, or if you're not following us, please make sure to tap on that follow button on Spotify. So whenever a new episode is uploaded, you are notified. And then if you're listening to Apple Podcasts, please feel free to rate and leave us a review. We'd love to hear feedback from everyone. And then on Anchor as well, there is a link on the show notes. You can go to Anchor and leave us a voice message, whether it's your feedback on the recent episode or something that Pinhead, Kuya, myself, or Jester may have said.
Wait.
So
Who?
please support the show.
Who?
Jester, sequestered Jester,
Who's that?
cupcake.
Cupcake Diva. So also want to mention
Okay.
For those listeners who enjoy the show, who enjoy the podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you help spread the word and share it with other friends or family if you think they'd enjoy it, or maybe you don't think they'd enjoy it, but maybe just who knows? You don't know, I guess, if you don't.
If you guys can share like dumb memes on Facebook, you can share this.
There you go. You can
If,
share.
if
Because
you
this
can,
is the
if you can,
equivalent to dumb memes on Facebook. So
if you can share like annoying songs on Facebook and social media and all that
And
stuff and
roast
all,
videos.
yeah,
and
you
your
can,
TikToks.
yeah. If you can, if you do the little TikTok stuff, all that's whatever stuff, if you can share that, you can share this video.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
you go. Yeah,
Amen.
it's pretty much a grassroots effort as far as social media and getting the podcast out there. Nothing like, basically DMing friends and people who like posts and my memes and stuff like that. So, and I'm trying to make it entertaining as far as like
We're
uh,
gonna expand our
coming
topics.
up with
It's not
stuff.
just gonna be Star Wars and
Oh
stuff
no,
like this.
we go through a wide, and we
Yeah.
will. I want to eventually venture into independent films and other stuff like that. So
We're gonna talk about
a
Star
lot of
Trek,
different stuff.
and why Deep Space Nine is top tier and all that good stuff.
Agreed.
Star Trek.
Look at
Agreed.
Pinhead right there.
Agreed.
Look at Pinhead.
Agreed.
Speaking of which, there's a picture of Snoop Dogg on Twitter,
Yeah.
and it looks like he's in his house,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's got this huge mural, Star Trek mural behind him.
Yeah. It was like the Enterprise or something like that. I
Yeah,
think.
on
Yeah.
his wall. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of disappearing. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna say he got locked in his Xbox refrigerator already, but
No. He likes it because it's Star Trek. Because
Yeah. Because he's always up in space.
Oh, by the way, I saw a Jeep driving by itself today, Pinhead. See the driver?
Jesus.
You see the driver?
I don't see it. I don't see the picture, Mike.
Oh,
See
there's
it.
no driver.
I can't see the picture, Mike.
Oh God.
Mike, I can't see the picture,
You
Mike.
can't see it.
I can't.
You can't see it.
No,
can't
I
see 'em.
can't see it either because I just vomited in my own eyes.
I've never seen this one until tonight, so I thought I'd save it and show it to you. It said saw Jeep driving itself today, and then someone replied and said, "Love the fact we continued this joke for over a decade."
Yeah.
I'm like, geez.
That's the reward. If you can answer the question I asked you listeners about who is Danny Elfman's band, and you can legitimately say it without really looking it up, I'll tell you why.
Mike's looking it up right now, dude.
I'll tell you why I don't like John Cena. That's the reward.
As if you haven't in past episodes yet.
That's the promotion.
All righty. Well, this is a good time to wrap up this episode. Thank you guys for listening.
Good morning, guys.
We appreciate everyone's support. If anyone is still even listening or watching at this point, I mean, thank you. That's
You're
great.
still alive.
Yeah.
Hey,
bottom line is we enjoy doing this. We've had a blast doing this.
And for God's sakes, don't skip the ads. Just let Mike get paid.
Well, actually, that's not gonna work yet.
Oh, it doesn't work?
Not yet. And
never mind.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
But yeah,
skip the ads then.
Hopefully, eventually, who knows? So, alrighty. See you guys. Till next time. Thank you. May the force be with you.
And with your spirit.
Prosper.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.